Yeah, I think this is gonna work.
Hey Whit, lunch is ready.
No, we're in the middle of something right now. We got a project going on. Heck yeah! Well, hey there, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in the garage, and as you see, the tub is back on its side. Jen and I talked it over and discussed the pros and cons, and we decided it probably would be best to start with the Raptor Liner on the bottom. So once it was flipped down, we were able to get it all sanded up inside, get it all cleaned up. An initial cleaning, not a final cleaning. The final cleaning of the bottom is kind of what I'm starting on here now, but let me show you a few things that we've been working on first. So one of the first things is the tailgate is very much a prototype. If you've watched our previous episodes, you know I built this thing with no prior experience. The hinges aren't exactly what I was looking for. The limit straps aren't exactly what I was looking for, but they were pretty close actually. And the latch assembly was very much homemade with no prior skills and not a whole lot of patience. So I get the feeling that I will be at some point realizing that something didn't hold up, something didn't work, something's going to need to be replaced or fixed, upgraded. So I didn't want to Raptor line this, because if I Raptor line it and then I have to get those bolts out, it's going to be a pain in the neck. And I don't want to take it all back apart to Raptor line it before putting the bolts back in, which is how I would do it with the rest of the tub. All the bolts are out. It's just a matter of plugging the holes so that I can get bolts back in. But this, it's all in. It's all adjusted. So I'm going to tape this all off and not Raptor line it. What we decided was that a good satin black would look really good. And I think it does. Actually, believe it or not, I used rattle can spray paint. And it's got several layers on it because it was very difficult to get a good, smooth, consistent coating. But I do believe, well, now there's dirt on it, but I do believe that is going to look really good with the Raptor around it. Granted, it will be covered mostly with my spare tire carrier, but regardless. So down here, I've got stuff kind of cleaned up a little bit, but today, let me switch this around a sec. Well, you see back here, I've got it mostly cleaned up, and ready to go, except for grease and wax remover. You can find this in any auto body paint shop. You can find it in AutoZone, O'Reilly's, any auto shop, basically, because anytime you're going to paint a vehicle, this is the stuff you need. A few different brands, a few different things. I'm not sure, I saw in AutoZone yesterday, I saw aircraft remover, and I told Jen, you know, if that plane that's been flying low over our house decides to crash in our backyard, we better come to AutoZone to get the aircraft remover. I never said I had a good sense of humor, people. But I'm not sure if that is actually grease and wax remover. It'd be something to check into yourself. I just grabbed this stuff because I know that it is. So what I've got to do is a whole lot of very tedious, kind of like the sanding, very tedious scrubbing. I'm going to save you guys some trouble and cut this down in time. Okay, so the bottom side is clean. I cleaned the exposed part of the outside as well. I haven't done the inside because that's on the other side. That'll be when I flip it back down. When I flip it to the other side, I'll do the rest. But this way, in case there's any overspray or whatnot, like on the body here, it has something solid to stick to, and then when I spray the sides, it'll just get covered up. But in the meantime, this is all cleaned up. A few other things I've got to do yet still, such as there are some spots where I still see some shiny bits, like right around the Jeep logo here in the little crevices. I didn't do a good job of sanding that, so I'm going to spray down the adhesion promoter. Any crevices that are hard to get to, U-Paul makes an adhesion promoter. I think it's number 4. They number all their products. Anywhere where there's any doubt, use the adhesion promoter. I would recommend it. I've never done it, but personally I'd rather spend a few extra dollars now than be sorry later. As for this is all cleaned up. Now the top rails right up here where the hard top sits on and where the soft top clips in, I'm actually going to spray those with that same satin black that I used on the tailgate. And then I'm going to end up taping them off a nice clean line, because I don't want Raptor there, just because I'm not 100% certain it won't make the top not seal correctly, and that's not something I want when it's negative 10 degrees or when it's raining or whatever. A good seal is important. So that's just going to be painted black. The Raptor will stop just below it. I've got the top where I can actually do that now, so I'm going to do that. Also the engine bay here, I've already kind of started it, and let me show you. I've already kind of started it, but this whole thing is going to be black as well. Big issue there is I'm not 100% certain on the temperature rating. Running into stuff over here. I'm not 100% certain on the temperature rating of Raptor Liner, and since it gets really hot in this whole area, I think I'm just going to spray that black with paint. Okay, so here's the next step. This is going to be a problem, spraying paint, because any dust that comes down, I mean, heck, even right now in this video I can see dust floating around. And if you let dust settle on fresh paint or fresh bed liner, you're going to see that forever. So I have to cover this. I have to build a spray booth. I've already done what I can to clean stuff up. Clean up the floor, clean up any dusty bits. I haven't done a perfect job of it. There's still a lot of dust down here because this basement is nasty, so I'm probably going to regret it later. But what I'm doing is basically what I got started here. Little plastic liner, and I'm going to build a giant bubble, basically, and seal up this area right here. Just seal up a giant cube bubble of plastic, just to keep any outside dust down. And then once I've done that, hopefully do a final clean and just make sure everything inside the bubble is as clean as can be, and then start spraying. And if I'm lucky, if I work hard today and things go according to plan, I know they never do, but I might be able to get my first spray done and have the bottom Raptor lined. That would be exciting in my eyes. So let's get to work. Okay, so what I'm using is just your basic plastic drop cloths and duct tape, really. I mean, seems simple enough, right? So I'll start off. That one was actually a piece left over from when I taped up the windshield to get it ready for the Raptor Liner. So it's got some weird angled cuts, and it looks like some of my tape already came down over there, so I guess I need to do a better job. Let's get this stretched out though and see what we can cover. Well, that appears to be the first wall. How about we do that front? Yeah, this would go a whole lot better and quicker if I had another guy, man. Whit, would you get down here? I was taking a break, man. Chill. Thanks, man. Okay, so here's the plan, man. We're going to take this, take it the long way that way, tape it up here, take it across, and then behind the rail and down the wall. So, let's get to it, man. Where is this guy? Dude, where do you go off to now? What, man? This is boring. Are you kidding me? Anyone else always battling with their lazy side? And there it is. My spray booth. It's far from perfect. For one, there's still this opening here because we let the dogs out through this area, so that still needs to be able to be open. There's still this gap up here because I want to be able to open the garage door and I think it would snag. I didn't finish this area, but it's going to be covered with the garage door. I didn't finish all this area. Pardon all our junk. I only went to there because once again the dogs come out. I don't want them ripping all this down. And there's a gap over there so I can get through to get to tools and stuff. I've still got to lay down a couple on the floor, which, not that I'm really too worried about protecting the floor. As you can see, there's already paint there from some of the painting and priming I've been doing. I'm not too worried about the garage floor. It's already pretty funky. But, you know, I'm sure any professional automotive painter right now is looking at this thinking it's a joke. It's not. It's just a guy trying to make do with what he's got and do the best he can with what he's got. So it may be a half job. It may be something I regret later. But I'll tell you this, it's 1,000 times better than what I started with. So I'm happy to have this done. Next step, lay down that plastic and start spraying the Raptor on the bottom. So I don't know what this is going to look like. This is actually the front-facing camera on my phone, and it may end up kind of screwy because this morning I actually dropped the phone. It completely shattered the screen protector, which these screen protectors have gotten us through a lot of drops. But it also completely shattered the screen on my like 4-month-old phone. It's toast. And there's a big crack right across the camera, so we'll see if that shows up in the video. I'd like to say that no phones were harmed in the filming of this video, but it can't be said. So if y'all like the content, please click like, click subscribe, comment what you want to see, what not. We'll have more coming, and hopefully soon I will have some video of the actual Raptor lining project for you. So thanks for watching. The Lord bless you and keep you. advice. If you don't want to go digging through the trash, keep track of your lid.